One thing that is another kind of twist in this is that the building itself right now is a residence. It's a loft residence where there are units in that building that have applied to be legalized under the new loft law. They expanded the loft law in the city of New York to this area, to North Brooklyn. And so that building is now eligible within the next few months. I mean, it's a long process to become rent stabilized, which means that you can't have your rent raised on you like extraordinarily, or it has to go through the Rent Guidelines Board, and that you can't get evicted because the landlord claims that you're not a legal resident. So that this building has applied for loft status. They have an attorney. They've gone to the loft board. I just read an article that came out a couple hours ago where the landlord said, or the landlord it's understood that the landlord is going to fight their application at the loft board. They have a really good lawyer, I know that. And I mean, the tenants have a really good lawyer. And so this is going to be something that adds another hurdle for DHS and for Help USA. We'll see where that goes. I don't know if there's any negotiations going on. I've kind of read what everyone else has read in the press. But that's something that I'm keeping my eye on very closely, because they can't establish this homeless shelter if there's anyone living in that building. If there's somebody that's living in that building that's a legal resident, they can't co-locate this facility with a legal residence. Off the top of my head, I don't know the gentleman's name. Was it?
Mr. Spiro.
Mr. Spiro. I can find out a little bit more. I know nothing about the guy. But I think what we're going to do now, though, is actually have, I want to hear from you all, because I want to know what I think collectively we should do in terms of next steps, in terms of how, if we want to organize, if we want to, I know we've collected signatures on a petition, but if we want to do a further letter writing campaign, the commissioner of DHS, I mean, if he's getting, if he gets 1,000 letters placed at his doorstep, that has an effect. If we're going to be out there rallying and having protests and making our voices heard, I mean, that's the way that you can get effective community activism. I mean, you look at, I always think of what Northsiders and Green Pointers did with the People's Firehouse, with Engine 212, 35 years ago. And that was taking the issue into your own hands and saying that this is how we're not going to just roll over because the powers that be say that they want to see something like this done. So I think that I want to kind of put it out to the floor. I want everyone who has a comment or